I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're delving into the enigmatic world of who were they? It's a powerful book written by Debra Fossum. Imagine a world abruptly void of Christians, where concepts of morality, forgiveness, and hope are on the brink of extinction. Through the eyes of Carter, tasked with uncovering the sudden disappearance of an entire group of people, this novel explores a dystopian future where a solar flare's chaos brings him closer to the unexpected truths. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her important book, her provocative book. The links are below this interview. Debra, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Well, thank you for having me, Logan.
My pleasure. I often say to people, thank God for all of the missionaries who worked to spread Christianity around the world, because they fed people, they educated people, and most importantly, they introduced them to Jesus Christ. And that is a profound impact on the world. The Ten Commandments, the Beatitudes, the idea of turning the other cheek, the idea of civility. All of these could be wiped away in your world. Tell us a little bit about the story and the inspiration for it.
Well, my inspiration came from a series called Left Behind in the 1990s, which showed what life would be like after the Christians were pulled from the earth. I wanted to show to the reader things may be worse than they are now in the future, and you need to be prepared for this. My hope is that in the believers that read the book, they will feel an urgency to grow their faith and to be willing to pass on the book to non-believers. I know the book is short, but it is packed full of questions that'll linger on in the reader's mind long after they finish the book.
Yeah. A lot of people say the United States is not a Christian nation, but it really is. It was founded on Christian principles. The founding fathers were Christian, and the principles of equality, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, of individual freedom are all Christian values. So I think a lot of people take for granted about the importance of Christianity and the impact that Jesus Christ has on this world, whether you're a believer or a non-believer, right?
Yes, there's so much that we owe to the Christian movement in the first century. I mean, we have hospitals, universities, orphanages, places for our elderly. These all came out of Christian concepts. And if we take Christians out of the picture and the Holy Spirit within them, the devil's free to do whatever he wants in his time that he has left.
Yeah. But you have that smug elite out there that believe in nothing, who look to destroy everything, who don't believe in Jesus, and certainly mock the fact that there is a pervasive evil in this world that we know as the devil. So those are the forces that we're fighting them against. And a lot of them are in Hollywood, the images and the stuff that we see on TV and movies, right?
Yes, and in my book, it addresses the issue of society changing to the point where Christians are considered the enemy, where the Bible is banned and Christians are going underground for protection, where they are even in prisons from trumped up charges. And it's a time before the rapture when it is really hard to live in this society.
And it's not too hard to imagine, because 2,000 years ago, there was a man who preached a sermon of love and compassion and charity and doing good for others. And he was rewarded by being nailed to a cross. So the idea that all Christians would be persecuted is not that far-fetched. Tell the folks at home an overview. Tell them the story of your book. Let's say Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, what happens?
The story takes place after the rapture, and the government has hired a man named Carter. Now, his job is to work for the reformers in finding out information on how all these Christians disappeared, even the ones in prison. the reformers' idea is that they might be able to use that process, some scientific process maybe, that they could get rid of other people that they don't want to have around. Subhuman even, if I could use that term, that people that have been degraded by the government to the point where they're looked down on and they want to get rid of them. So you have Carter going throughout the country looking for evidence, trying to find this out. And then as he's exploring different avenues to find more information, an EMP strikes the Earth as a solar flare.
Mhm.
A lot of the information I got for that came from our own commissions that have reported to Congress about our readiness for an EMP. And this puts the world in a whole different perspective for Carter. And in seeking out reasons for the EMP, he also comes across James, who tells him that not only the Christians disappearing, but the extreme weather and the EMP are also connected.
Hmm. Tell us if you've ever envisioned this book as perhaps a film or a series. I think it'd be a pretty powerful film, don't you?
Yeah, it is always a goal to put a book into visual
Mhm.
as you're reading it. And yeah, it would make a great movie of sort. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it'd be very, very impactful. And I think it would be a great wake-up call and reminder to all the good that Christians do in this world. And they do seem to be taken for granted, like I said, particularly from the media, who seems to disparage religion, disparage Christians, and almost try to label them extremists, if you have deep beliefs, right?
Yes. The idea that truth is whatever you want to make it, that there's no absolute truth. This is going to evolve into man making laws that are totally against God's laws. And what can
Yeah.
you expect from that?
Yeah. I mean, today, if you're a true Christian, your beliefs are under attack. If you believe that a marriage is between a man and a woman, well, that's considered hate now because it's
Yes.
precluding others. If you believe a baby should not be aborted, you're infringing on a woman's right to choose. I mean, so many of our basic beliefs. I mean, if you believe that certain lifestyles are perverted and deviant, again, you're looked at as a criminal. And I don't know where it stops. I don't know where it ends because the way that they control us now by deleting us, canceling us, taking us off of social media. If you put something profound about Christianity on Facebook, for example, it very well might be buried. Your friends might not even see it, you
Yeah.
know? So it's a very disheartening time, don't you think?
Yes, it's something that we did not see coming. It came so fast. It's a period of time where Christians, you can't just sit back and wait for things to get back to the way they were. There's
Yeah.
something that needs to be done.
Yeah. Tell us about writing this book. Was this the first time you wrote a book?
It's the first time I published a book. I've
Mhm.
wrote a book several years ago,
Okay.
and did not get it published because the flood of '97 wiped out my computer and my manuscript. So
Wow. Well, we're
it
glad this
didn't
one did
make
not
it.
get wiped out. Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And why did you write the book?
I I'm hoping that it'll search the hearts of the people that read the book.
Mm.
It leaves questions unanswered, and I think that's important that the reader is able to think about what's brought up in the book long after they finish reading the book. The idea that um, absolute truth comes from the Bible is
Mm.
being overlooked. It's being wiped out of our system of education. Uh, I am a strong advocate of homeschooling because of that. I also see that the church doors are starting to close. The people going to church is dropping.
Mm.
And in response to that, there's got to be something that we can all do. I'm living in rural North Dakota, so there's not a whole lot of outreach I have, but through
Mm.
writing this book, I feel I can reach out to people. God's hand is on this book, and He will make sure the people that need it will get it, I'm sure. And
Yeah,
in that way,
absolutely.
continuation of my beliefs.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your spiritual journey. Are you involved with your church? Is your church active in kind of helping to lead the way against this, censorship of Christians that we see around the world?
Yes, I'm very active in a local church. I've spent a good deal of time being a Sunday school superintendent and a teacher of high school Sunday school, and I've spent much of my time there writing my own curriculum and getting in touch with especially the high schoolers and in trying to send them down the right path.
Yeah.
At least some Bible knowledge, basic Bible principles. And a lot of those basic Bible principles that I've used in the church, I incorporated within the book as
Right.
some evidence that Carter finds.
Yeah, I think, well, you're doing God's work, as we say, in working with teenagers because they need it the most. They're at the times in their lives where they're going to be making decisions that will perhaps derail their lives. They're faced with all kinds of temptations, drugs, alcohol, you name it. So to get some good Christian values are important. And before we leave you today, anything else you'd like the folks at home to know? Um, who is your intended reader? And I just wanted to give you the final say.
I'm working right now on a study guide, which I would like to attach to my website as a downloadable PDF. And I'm using it to parallel maybe with some of what happened in Germany during World War II, as well as bring out some of the things that the reader can do to continue on preaching the good news to other people.
Absolutely. And go to church. It's important. Become part of your church, become active. Don't be discouraged by the negative voices out there, the people who smirk, the Hollywood elites. Let them live in their secular, godless world. We all get what we deserve in this world, I think. And if you want to live in a godless world, go right to it. I don't think it's going to be one filled with joy. That's for sure. Debra, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you.
My pleasure. To the folks at home, the name of the book is Who Were They? It's written by Debra Fossum, and she has written about a world where suddenly the Christians are gone, where concepts of morality, forgiveness, and hope are just about wiped away on the brink of extinction. And it's a chilling tale, but it's a tale, when you think about it, that's not too hard to believe. I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.